This podcast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned. You have been warned. You have been warned.
So I'm giving up. No, I'm not giving up yet. I'm getting shit because I can't hit my mark.
Who's giving you shit?
Somebody named Gene Cook. I don't know who it is.
Okay, so
he's just
giving
fucking telling me to give up.
Damn.
So I was thinking I might do You Are Looking Live and do I forget who did that shit. Phil would have to tell me who does that all the time.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It is like a old, I think it was Brent Musburger when he's back in the day, he would do You Are Looking Live, and it was like at Soldier Field, blah, blah, blah. It was how they started off like the NFL Today or something.
Oh,
so anyway, I don't know. So for you, Gene, this is it. It was fucking horrible. I just jammed my way through it to get it the fuck done. Don't you fucking laugh at me.
That was not one of the better ones. Was it? Actually, that might have been the worst one, as a matter of fact. I had to think a second, but yeah, that was pretty terrible.
My God.
I mean, I'm not saying I can do it any better, but I'm definitely not going to try. I'm not going to steal your thunder.
Fuck. It was horrible.
Well, I don't know if I'm not sure if you were you a Kids in the Hall fan?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were into that or not, but
evil.
Huh?
Like Simon and Hecuba.
Oh yeah. Duh. Okay. It's been a while. Well, I've been watching the new one.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that they had a new one?
I'm scared.
No, it's fucking awesome.
Oh really?
I was on the fence about it. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where I've like always kind of hoped they would do it, bring it back. But then also sort of like, if they do it, what will it be like? Will it suck?
That's
whatever.
my concern. It's totally my concern.
Well, I started watching it last week, probably like a day or two after the last podcast is when I like started watching. And I blew through. I actually have one more to watch. I think there's 8 episodes. I blew through the first 7 in like 3 days.
Yes. Is it really that good?
It's pretty good. I don't know. I would say that the thing about the old one that always was for me, the more endearing part of it was that even for the time it came out, it still felt a little bit low budgety, even for what era it was in.
Yeah.
Like it was like a little bit less production value than anything in the like 89 to 94-ish era whenever the show was on. And I always kind of like that about it. It's like they just didn't pump a bunch of money into the production value and stuff like that. The new one, however, I was concerned that was going to be an issue because I was like, well, obviously it's going to be way bigger production. They're going to have better sets. It's going to be like more modernized. And that might take away from it a little bit. And all those things are true, but I don't think it takes away at all. Like there's a few skits that they kind of miss the mark and they're not super funny or anything. But for the most part, a lot of them, I was like knee slapping, fucking laughing.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know if I fall for that, but we'll have to try it out. I need something to watch.
I'm telling you, like and I don't even want to give any of the skits away, but I will say that they do what they've done really well. And I even hesitate to say this because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who may not be watching it yet, but they definitely, I was wondering if they were going to give any nods to any of the old stuff. any of the old episodes or anything.
Like Chicken Lady.
And they do, the nods are very few and far between, but when they do use them, it's fucking like, it's perfect. It's like it's kind of like they sneak them in when you're least expecting it. And I was just like, I seriously, I was just had a smile on my face like the whole time I'm watching these episodes. And
it's the whole cast, isn't it?
It is. It's all of them. And I don't know, there's something equal amounts of sad and awesome to see them just so advanced in age. Cause it's like, I don't know. There's something special about the new version of the show. It's like seeing them older. There's like you can still see their like youngness in their faces, even though they physically like look old.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's like they still have the spirit still there, no matter like what they're looking like, I guess.
Oh fuck. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah. I am not a paid spokesperson for Kids in the Hall.
Oh my God. So we're at the point right now, right? We are recycling the Great British Pottery Throwdown. Like we're awesome. I think it's the season 5. We've started over because we're hurting for shit to watch. And we've also started the Great British Baking Challenge over again. Because I'm just I don't know. I'm fucking sick of TV.
I don't know about the pottery one. We were watching the baking one a few years back for a little bit. Like we maybe watched like half of one season or something. I don't even remember exactly how we even got into watching that, but it was cool. I'm not usually too into shows like that, but that one was kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know about the pottery one at all.
Yeah, guess figure out the premise. Take a wild guess.
I'm sure I got it.
It's on HBO, but it's just I don't know. It's good, and it's anything where people are creative. Love watching it, so it doesn't fucking matter. Like they give them tasks, and it's in like this old like the hub of all British pottery was done. So it's all done in like these classic like on site, and it's just cool. I don't know. We're dorks.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the only show that I can even think of in that realm that I've watched recently was maybe like a year ago. I watched like a full season of this show. I think it was called, is it Forged in Fire?
Fuck yes, dude. That thing is badass.
Okay, so that is the correct title.
Yes.
Yeah, that show was pretty cool where they like the elimination with people making stuff out of metal and everything.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I appreciate like fucking that skill set and fucking mindset. They can just go through and fucking hammer through stuff and love it.
Yeah, it's cool. And
of course I'm not that rugged.
Well, one of the things I did like about that show is I think it's probably like any show like that. I guess the personalities of the people is sort of maybe what's happening. It's like the nuanced part of the show is the people's personalities and just how they use them to make the show flow along. And it's like, you always have the person who like, you can tell that they play it off like they don't want to win really badly, but then they're like, oh, I'd love to win, but you can tell they're the person that when they lose, they're like, I love seeing the secret butt hurtness in people that try to hold it in, but they're dying inside like that. They're
going out and kicking trash cans and kittens.
Yeah, probably
like,
strangling dogs. My sword was better, you cunt.
But have you ever noticed, we picked this up, that there is such on the British one seems to be such of a camaraderie between the contestants versus the US where,
oh yeah,
is it a filming difference or is it just we're just that fucking competitive and asshole?
I think it's probably a little of both, because yeah, you're right. I remember when we were watching that baking show a little bit, there was definitely not as much of that, like of
I'm gonna
You
beat
know,
your
like-
face into the fucking ground with these brownies.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's cool though. What's funny, you were mentioning about Gene at the beginning. He had listened to last week's episode and he texted me and he was like, dude, he's like, did you know that the Slayer Live Undead was recorded in the studio? And I was like, I did not know that. He's like, yeah, he's like, that's all those are like live in the studio. And the people that are like the fan noise and stuff are like friends that they brought in to like be part of the recording session to make noise.
That is fucking funny.
So I mean, I totally believed him, but I wanted to research it more. So I looked it up and yeah, I mean, sure enough, that's pretty much what they did. I think like side A of that record was done in the studio live with those friends. And then the second side, from what I've read online, is that those are the actual cuts from maybe like the actual records or maybe demo versions of the records. And they're just like mixed differently. And then like the same friends, like noise was like pumped in. So he was just like, dude, he's like, that's not even like a live record. And my retort to him was that it's live in the studio.
Oh my God.
And they have friends there. So I was like, technically, I'm still calling it a live record.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's like the no redeeming live at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, but it's like, it made me think about that. I was like, you know what? It's easy to like on a surface level, think of that as, you know, it's not in a club or in an arena. So it's not live, but I don't know. You know, I guess I just thought about it more than I ever have before. And my first instinct when he said this was in the studio was, well, they had friends present who were interacting with them as they were recording though. So it's like, how's that any different than if you were like recording in your living room with friends present? That's still live.
I wish I could argue that more, but technically you are correct. But most people are under the assumption that when it is live, it is in front of a crowd of some size and not 5 people and their girlfriends.
See, I don't know. I
mean,
grandmothers.
grandmothers.
But you're saying that, right? That's your assumption. That you're saying what is the norm for what a live show is. But like, what makes a live show a live show? Like, so you're saying it has to be a bunch of people. I'm saying it has to only be 2 people or one person.
We played shows where there's been the other band and that's it. So
yeah,
and that's a live show, sadly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
I think it's a fucking technicality, but I think you're right in a weird way.
Well, here's the thing though. I'm kind of like poking fun a little bit too. I mean, I understand that, like, you know, let's be fair. Like a live show would indicate that, yeah, it is like a concert somewhere where people paid to go or something like that. But I'm just saying that anybody, I guess what my thing was is that having friends present that are hyped on your band and are like having those people there did alter the course of that recording, because it probably that I guess my points of why I like that record to me aren't changed based on the fact that it's not technically a real live show, because the energy level that they show in that recording is probably not the same had their friends not been there, like hyping them up.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 cents. But
so yeah, anyway, I just thought that was funny because there definitely was a moment when he sent me that text and I was like, oh, that kind of fucking sucks. And I was like, yeah, but it still technically counts. And like, it doesn't change anything about what I like about that record though.
Oh yeah, so the Lawn Dart demo would be considered a fucking live album because it was done in one shots, and we had Mike Sokol cheering for us.
Well, I think maybe part of that equation though too. That's a good point. That's a fair point. As I think the intent, like you guys weren't intending for that recording to be seen as a live show, so the intent wasn't the same.
Okay. I don't know, but I'm in. I guess. We'll have this debate when Gene comes on. It'll be far more fun.
Yeah. Well, oh, and
hey Gene, you look cute. You look like you fucking swollen up and had your wisdom teeth cut out. What the fuck?
yeah, seriously. Fucking bee sting over here.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
The pictures aren't as scary as the ones from Paul Bear while he has COVID.
Oh, Jesus.
COVIDing. He was, oh my God, they were scary.
When was that?
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
So it's like pretty recent then.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on with COVID, but I haven't really been following that at all. But we definitely, in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, we didn't like really know anybody for a while that had it. And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we know like 4 or 5 people that have it. And 2 or 3 are people that already had it like 2 or 3 other times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, God damn, like fucking wash your hands once in a while.
Oh shit.
You antibodyless motherfucker.
Oh my God. Well, we fucked up, and I think I told you, is we got our vaccination. Yes, I vaccinated. And I found out that Amanda had COVID's on the way from getting my first vaccination shot, and my ass was whooped.
Yeah.
Like it all hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. I'm like, holy shit. So I double dosed it right away.
Yeah. We've been thinking about doing the antibody test to see like what our levels are or whatever, because I'm still convinced I had it. I think we talked about this in one of the previous episodes, but I'm pretty sure that February of 2020, I fucking had it. I was like one of the early bird specials that got it. And then I vaccinated and stuff. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm definitely, and we've done, and since COVID, we've done international travel twice.
That's fucking crazy.
And like neither one of us has gotten it like since sort of like the quote unquote, like it was revealed that it existed. So I think I had it and then got vaccinated. So I'm curious to see what my levels are, if I'm like pretty much super immune at this point. Cause I mean, we went to shows without masks, like a bunch in the last 6 months. We've been to bars. We went back to like our normal lives and like nothing has happened.
Dude, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. We pulled back a little bit, but like,
you mean recently or just like in general?
No, in general, when it happened. I mean, we went back to work as soon as possible. Like it was a minimal blip. Like I've come to the conclusion that maybe people had it a lot worse than we did in just like in work conditions. Cause I was like, I didn't stop working, nor, I mean, did it slow us up? Like, in fact, we got fucking busier, which is crazy as shit to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, we were pretty intense about being safe at the very beginning. Just because I think I told you about this before, but she's got that friend who like works in, I don't know, whatever. A friend of hers had something to do with like working on the vaccine, and just, she's like a virologist or whatever that's called. And we pretty much just listened to everything she was saying. She was like, here's what you guys need to do. And she would sort of give us like input and stuff. And I think the thing that freaked us out the most was at the very beginning, like in the first month and a half, it was like March of 2020. We knew like 4 people that died in the first month. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, cause at first we were kind of like, maybe this isn't so crazy, whatever. And then like within like the span of a week and a half, we knew 4 people that died. And we're like, oh fuck, like this is like no fucking joke. And then that's why we kind of stuck with like taking it more seriously the whole time.
So it's crazy is like I've been getting caught up on a couple podcasts, like weird ones that I like. Like I went back and listened to the whole back catalog, and then you hit the COVID, and they're all conspiracy theory and weird shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny as shit to hear the people come on and just call it complete bullshit. And it's not real and blah blah blah. I was like, oh dude, you're gonna eat your words in about 3 months.
Yeah.
When shit gets real.
Well, and then when Marv got sick too, that definitely freaked me out too.
Fuck, dude, that's crazy. When the doctor tells you to pray, that's the last resort. It's fucked up. But he made it.
Yeah,
he's back, but it took him a while, and he's still like it took him a while to get back up to even speed. Like,
yeah, I mean, he was lagged. Like down. He like I don't even remember who I don't know if Dad told me or what, but yeah, he was basically like just started like seeing him like out and about and stuff like a few months ago or whatever.
Yeah, well, they walk a lot, so I think he was, I guess, as healthy as he could have been to get it and actually fight whatever he could of it off.
Yeah,
but he still got his ass whooped.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, so this is a bummer. Let's fucking change this shit. Holy fuck! All right, so before we were getting ready to record, I mentioned Melodyne because got an offer from Melodyne to upgrade my sissy package to a bigger boy package for half price. And I was like, I'm going to start watching videos to figure out, do I need to spend that money? Am I ever going to fucking use it? And you have some insight on this product, maybe.
Oh, well, I don't think I have. I don't think I have insight on the product itself, but one of the things, because when you mentioned that off camera, I was like, oh my God, like I just saw that word today before we did the podcast. And I never heard of this before ever.
So tell them what it is, because I will have a hard time.
I don't even know if I know. So what I was looking up different things with like pitch shifting. And it was coming up under like pitch shifting tools. And I saw the word Melodyne, and I was going to go back and see what it was, but I was trying to concentrate on what I was doing. So I've been researching like frequencies in music and kind of like trying to learn a little bit more about that. Like I know a little bit about all that, but and just how sound frequencies are linked to like chakras in the body and like it's like yoga kind of stuff.
What the fuck are you smoking?
Well,
did you borrow Gavin's weed card?
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
No,
all right, go ahead, keep going. I'm just fucking with you.
No, I know
hippie.
You are. No, but this is all really cool. So this is kind of a fun, cool story. So like I said, I've known a little bit about this over the years, but I don't know. I've been kind of just thinking more about it recently, and I've been wanting to delve more into sort of like the technical aspects of everything. So basically, and whatever, I can't really talk too fluently about this yet, but basically there's certain frequencies that they resonate, like essentially they're starting to find that like certain frequencies can be like maybe used to heal like parts of the body and stuff, that like certain frequencies actually alter how DNA reforms and like heals. And that like water has memory. Like they found there's like this Japanese scientist who's figured out that they can like put, and you can watch YouTube videos of people testing this. So you can take, 528 hertz is a frequency that like equates to like your heart chakra or chakra. And then all these chakras or frequencies, they coordinate with making certain geometric shapes. So in water, if you put 528 hertz frequency into a glass of water, the water will actually like remember like the vibration. The water will like remember that vibration. And even like 48 hours later, if you let that glass of water sit on a table, like undisturbed, and then you measure it like 2 days later, that frequency response is still being held in the water. Like the water will still resonate that frequency that was given to it like 2 days previous. So it's like pretty fascinating. But then the whole like weird health side of this, which obviously hasn't been proven or anything yet, but is that like if you are to like drink this water, then that like vibration frequency like gets into your body. And it's the same kind of with like a lot of synthesizer music that like if you go on YouTube and put in like meditation music or something like that, like just having trouble sleeping and put in like, listen to this tone, and it'll be like this tone that just like vibrates. A lot of those tones are linked to these certain frequencies. But how this is linked to music that I was sort of interested in is there's like and you can look this up on the internet as well. And this is pretty fascinating, actually.
Everything on the internet is true.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Yeah, because I'm going to
be the opposite side.
No, because there's I'm going to get to it. There's plenty of videos where certain people, like piano players and stuff, have debunked a lot of this to a certain extent. Well, certain aspects of it they've debunked. They've agreed with some aspects of it, but basically all music since the 1930s or 40s, there was a worldwide standard adopted in like 1939. And it's when they took like what they call concert pitch became A440. So everything was like all instruments get tuned to an A, like that's your standard A is the 440 frequency. But before that, it was all kinds of different frequencies within that range over the centuries. And it was, so basically it's A432 is what is considered like the actual harmonious like pitch.
Perfect pitch for A.
And for the conspiracy theory is that in 1939, the Nazis,
the Bilderbergs,
the Nazis, and a lot of the like Rockefellers and like
that's
all that
exactly
kind of stuff.
What that was the other one I was coming with.
They were all in cahoots to change the A432 to A440 because it's a more dissonant pitch, and it basically the whole thing is to like take humanity away from the pitch of like nature and like feeling positive. And A4, it's basically like the best analogy I can think of would be to like everyone's listening to like, I don't know, like the Carpenters, but then it switches to Dead Guy.
That is awesome.
So that would be like the extremes of it. It's like all the like everything that was done in A432 is now changed to A440, which makes like everything just sound a little more trebly and like anxious feeling. So I was like really intrigued by this.
Are you starting a revolution where we're going to start tuning to A443 or whatever the fuck it
432? Well, no. So
fuck.
I experimented with this the last 2 days, actually.
Oh yeah.
And I watched a couple videos. There's this guy, so he did this really cool thing where he had one guitar tuned to what they call the modern concert pitch, which is the 440, and then he has another guitar that he has at 432, and the video shows him playing like the same song but in different tunings, and it's really fascinating. I think anybody listening to this who's like into music or plays an instrument or anything, I highly recommend to look this stuff up and check into it because it's pretty fascinating. And what I found is like there are some songs that do sound better in the like A432 versus the 440, but then there's some things that sounds better in the 440. And it does seem that a lot of the more classical style music sounds way better in that like older pitch than like this new modern pitch. It definitely gives it like this whole different vibe, like a little more I would say that the A432 is like more harmonious sounding. It definitely gives you more of like a relaxed feeling when you're listening. And then the other one just is like a little more like just a tiny bit like stress inducing almost. It's like really interesting. But then there's this piano player guy that kind of debunked a lot of it. What's that?
Yes, everybody, I am that dumbfounded. I can't say a fucking word. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so keep going.
So I was curious what it would do to some of my own songs. Like if I were to tune my guitar this way. And like I said, this is really like no different than, like tuning your guitar down a half step or something. It's kind
of what I was wondering. It's not anything crazy.
No, this is something that's been done for years, and like everyone kind of like bands do it, but it's just I never knew the connection of like these specific frequencies being like directly coordinated to like an instrument. Like we know about like, bands tune like Slayer tunes to E flat, and like Guar tunes to E flat, and like stoner rock bands usually tune to C or C flat or C sharp or whatever. So I mean that's not like a new thing, but I just didn't understand all the coordination of these frequencies with these particular tunings. So I ended up I tuned my guitar this morning to the 432, and I took a couple of my songs and I actually this is why I found the pitch shifting thing on this Melodyne, is because I was looking up how I had to set my semitone decreasing thing in my app to like make it be like line up with my guitar tuning, just make sure I was doing it the right way. So I got that, and I actually tried to play a few of my songs in this like more like down tuned A4032 thing, and it sounded terrible. So it was like, I think it just really kind of depends on like the music and like what your voice is like and stuff. Cause like basically when I started doing my solo project a few years back, like I was kind of new to like my goal with that project was to try to find like whatever my like quote unquote like real singing voice was, not just like singing punk rock style. And I like actually spent like some time researching, looking up like how to find your voice, like through using the piano, and like what your range is and like what notes you can and can't hit. And so I like put some work in.
So I can tell you some of them I can't hit. It's some of the ones in a Lukuku thing.
Yeah.
Because I can't hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you should probably watch some of those videos maybe. But yeah, so anyway, it was interesting to sort of figure out like, this is sort of the range I need to be in. And then how, like, once you find that range, equating that to what is the best way for you to tune your guitar to this range that you're in on the piano. And it just so happened, it like was a coincidence and just worked out for me that for my range, being in like standard tuning, like the A440 is like what works best for my voice. And even like a few years back, I tried tuning down and experimenting before I even ever recorded anything, just to kind of see what was going to work the best. And I always came back to standard tuning. And then when I started finding out about this frequency stuff, I don't know, it just got me thinking like maybe now that I have this knowledge, this could be something that'll maybe make it a little different. If I try tuning down, like maybe I'll approach it a little different or something, but it just still sounds terrible. Like, so
is the thought process to leave one it's, for lack of better term, standard A, and tune another guitar to your 440 or 430, whatever the 43 hertz
32,
one,
yeah,
is to tune them and then play back and forth and figure out which one you like better, or you just.
Yeah, I was kind of doing that. So I set up a file that had the songs like detuned to the 432, and then I had another one that was just at the 440, and then I only tuned the bottom three strings. So because I was just playing power chords just to experiment. So like my E, A, and D strings, I was just detuning those. and then I would just tune them back up really quick and then switch back over and play. And yeah, like, so what I did find is that if I detune to this 432, I actually did kind of realize, which I wasn't able to figure out before. But like I said, I think it just got me thinking in a different way, but I think I found a level of my voice that I didn't know I had. That's just like a little bit deeper. So I can almost go, and this is a bad example, but it's like the first thing I can really think of. It's definitely not this deep, but it's kind of almost like I can, in that tuning, it forces me to sing in almost like this weird, like Johnny Cash-esque
That's where I was
vibe.
going.
Yeah. And it's definitely not as cool as him, and it's not as deep as him, but it makes the song sound completely different and not really in a good way. I was like,
Right.
like it's cool that I can sing this way, but
that's the healthier way.
What's that?
The Johnny Cash way is the healthier way.
See, you would think that. I don't think so, because
So you're saying that the whoever's opted to change the frequency to make us better?
Well, so this one piano guy I was watching, he basically, he was showing that so there's, and I don't understand music at all from like an actual musician standpoint, like reading music and like thirds and fifths and like all that stuff.
Shit's for losers.
Yeah, I don't know any of that shit at all. So when they're talking about that stuff in videos, I'm just like, I get what they're saying, but I don't understand it really. But he was playing chords on the piano in these different frequencies, tunings, and some chords sound really cool, but then other chords sound like fucking terrible. So he was basically kind of proving that the 440 was not, it's like not some conspiracy. It's just basically that pitch is what makes all the chord structures always sound harmonious. So they're in the 432, there's some patterns that may sound like more like relaxing or like naturey or something, but other chords in that sound like demonic. So 440 is like the thing that sort of makes everything balanced and equal across the whole like keys, and all the chords. So anyway.
So I have to ask, and everybody's wondering the same thing I am.
Yeah.
When you're doing this, are you wearing like a white lab coat?
I should be. That'd be way cooler if I was, I guess.
That would be fucking badass.
Safety glasses and a hard hat.
Shit. Steel-toed shoes.
Yeah, well, and the whole thing, I know it is kind of like kooky or whatever, but I definitely was, I don't know, it's just always fun to experiment with music when you've, learned something new or whatever. Like how can I apply this to what I know?
Right.
And this will be like the third time now over the last 4 or 5 years that I don't even know the best way to say this, but like where I've gone into these peaks and valleys with my singing where I'm like, maybe there is like something better I can be doing, or maybe what I think is my voice isn't my voice. And I sort of like have these second guesses on how I'm doing things. And if I get some kind of a tidbit of something to try, I like to kind of dive into it a little bit.
No, that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm not busting balls on that. It's fun.
Yeah. But I think bottom line is, after the experiment today, it's like, this will be the third time now that I've tried to do something different with how I sing. And it just always feels most natural to come back to what I've been doing. It's like, I think I did figure out what works best for me. And I need to just accept it and like embrace it more, instead of trying to like find like the next best thing, quote unquote, for what I'm doing.
Right. So, I mean, for me, the Melodyne is basically not, say, I've been taking my classes for production, classes, but watching my videos from this guy, and he's from the total opposite end of the spectrum that we are. Like, there's like a formula, not a formula. He would never say that, but like the kind of music we listen to, he compares it to like a block, because it's like pretty much no matter where you drop like every 30 seconds, if you drop for lack of a better term, a needle every 30 seconds, the shit doesn't change, it doesn't sound too different.
Yeah.
And he's like,
no dynamics. It's not very
there's no dynamics. And then he's like, then you get the V, which basically it's like you start and just you're always building up to this huge crescendo, and then it's over. And then he was like going on some like W method where it's like you start and then you go to your B part, and then when you come back to your start part, your A, it's kind of like an A plus, and then you go to B plus, and then it's back to A plus plus, and then B plus plus. So it's constantly building and evolving. So it's not always the same, and it's really hard because like he's like, just listen to your songs and you'll start hearing like the really good ones. Like he was not preaching about hooks, but like the importance of getting a hook in something to actually get people like interested in. But like, what did I listen to today? Oh, it was something stupid. Oh, it was SOD. Okay. I was like, do they do any of these things? And it was like Pi Alpha Nu. And the breakdown, it was so fucked up, is they did like 4 where it was just playing. And then all of a sudden on the 5th one he does a and then on the last one he does something completely different. And like that's the shit I like in it. Like that's part of the reason, and like that's the hook of the song for me. And it was as funny as I never like thought to analyze music in that way, is like what makes that part a little bit better than that part.
Yeah.
And it's like the staging of that, and it's like, how do you enhance? But at some point in this course, we're going to go, I guess, when we record vocals, not me, but when that you use Melodyne to sharpen everything, or like if your singer's not hitting it perfectly, you can use Melodyne to kind of push it to where it needs to be.
Gotcha.
So it kind of takes your voice, your vocals, but I think it works on everything, and you can tweak it to where it needs to go. Like it'll take the waveform and kind of push it like into it. I don't think it'll totally like shift it like off to a totally. It might to a
it's
totally
not
different
like auto tune.
Yeah, it's not like auto tune. It's more of like I missed it by that much.
Yeah,
and it'll push it to that much. Like it basically, I guess, curves out and puts it where stuff needs to be. But I keep looking at all this dumb shit because I have this vision of getting the Aversion stuff, like trying to rip it apart and remaster it. You've been privy to some of the fails, or a lot of the fails.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking, and I'd seen somewhere or watched something, and somebody had mentioned Melodyne as something to use as well. Like, but for the remaster, Rip-X people, and if I had enough money, I'd buy the Rip-X, whatever the fancy one is, because I think it would be even better.
Oh, that's the one that like pulls all the instruments apart, even when it's like a single file.
Yeah, it rips everything apart, and I think the Sassy Frassy version does an even better job of it. Like the cheap one does the job, but there's still a little bleed over and stuff. And you can go in and tweak it and clean it up, which is it's a little bit of work, but you can go clean that up. But I think the fancier version definitely like rips the stuff apart a little bit cleaner from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And gives you more like where Rip-X does like 4 channels. It doesn't even say guitar, but then it's like drums, bass, vocals, and something else. I can't remember what it is, but that's usually the guitar. I think this one breaks it down even further. Like you get more tracks out of it than just those 4. So it's crazy. Someday, kids, we will get the remastered version.
Have you ever tried to take like a song of a band that has like a good recording and just put in there like a whatever, like a famous band or something you listen to, like take one of their wave files and put in?
No, I haven't.
That might be interesting to see, like just to have a comparison of like what a good recording sounds like pulled apart versus like shitty fucking recordings we have.
Yeah, well, there's a lot like I've seen like with Adobe Audition where they work on being able to make you what do you want to say, strip shit apart so that people can go back and do their redubs and
Gotcha.
change the music, sync up beats per minute, and that way Britney Spears is singing Stairway to Heaven, which is fucking awesome. I think
is that a real thing?
Yes, I think it's called Stairway to Britney or something like that. Fuck, I didn't bring my phone, but it's magical.
Hold on. I got to think about that for a second, because I just got a reference, and I guess I can't say anything because I haven't listened to it yet, but anything you were making fun of me about guitar frequencies it's null and void now, because you are saying that this is a great song.
You wait. Oh, you wait.
Yeah.
No, it's not null and void. No, not at all. They're fucking professor.
Yeah, that's I use Adobe Audition, so I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's apparently really easy to either strip vocals out or strip music out. But it doesn't separate it into different instruments. It is basically, I think really what it does is it takes your center channel or the mono line where you kind of run, like your vocals, your bass, like that center line, and it can extract it, and anything that falls out onto the sides, like your guitars or anything you've kind of split around, it like moves those aside. So it takes just that middle run, and then it also takes the two sides, your left and right. I'm like, I've got it in my head how it works. So I've watched videos on it. It's crazy. But
I used Audacity for years, and I mean, that's like that free one. It's good for what it does.
Yeah. A lot of people use it. I've seen videos on that too.
I just in the last like year just kind of got into Audition because I have it, with the Adobe suite. So I've just been trying to use that instead of Audacity. But I remember Audacity had like a little extra plugin thing you could get, because I used it for a while, where it would remove vocals from songs, because I was trying to take songs to make backing tracks as like cover songs that I could like play along with.
Oh yeah.
So I was using that plugin for a while to remove vocals on stuff, but it's kind of like you were saying, the vocals have to be running right down the middle, because if not, you can like hear, it'll take them out, but if it's panned a little bit, you can hear just like a tiny smidgen of like the vocals still. Like
early Pink Floyd records, you couldn't do that shit on.
Yeah.
Because that stuff moves left to right like crazy.
Yeah.
Saucer Full of Secrets, I was listening to it today, and it is so left to right, left to right, left to right. Like if you pull your headphones off one side of your head, everything's gone. Like you've got half the recording, like literally half, because the other instruments and vocals are on the other side and you can't hear them.
Yeah.
And then it'll flip flop back over.
Totally. Well, yeah, I mean, their records, they did a lot of like active panning and stuff too. Like stuff's like phasing over like through songs and stuff, but they did those, I'm not sure if it was all the records, but it may have just been The Wall. I can't remember, but a few years back they did a remastered like Dolby surround version of one of their records, and I've read some reviews on it, and people who are like super audiophiles who have just like gnarly systems and stuff with like actually like have their rooms like professionally set up with 5.1 and all that shit. Everyone was saying that like that was just fucking phenomenal to listen to that. It just like, because they kind of went in and like tweaked stuff and just like hearing shit behind you. It's like, I wish I had the money to have a setup like that, because like when an album like that comes out, that's pretty fucking incredible.
So I have a plugin for Studio One, and it's a spatial one, and you can move shit left, right, up, down, back, forward. Like you can put it wherever you want to, and it's weird. As it to me, it's like well, you're panning it, but it's like the amount of reverb you put on it kind of places it in the room.
Yeah.
Like a certain amount of reverb pulls it forward, certain amount pulls it back. It's really bizarre. Then you can change the room size, but it's really made for headphones versus like a big whatever 9 speaker system or whatever the fuck they're at now.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty certain that Pink Floyd record was 5.1, but it may even be something beyond that now. I don't even know, but I know it was. Everyone was like, dude, this record's insane. Like, it's like, you feel like people are in the room with you when you're listening.
Oh, that's
to
fucking
it.
cool.
It's like it's like everything's coming around from the back and stuff. So a little bit of change of topic, but I wanted to throw this out there on air for all of our Crazy Legs McGee bandmates.
Oh my God.
So got a text this morning, which you were on this text about, I was asked the question why Crazy Legs McGee doesn't play a show or do a reunion. And my response was that I would love that, but I don't remember any of the fucking words.
I don't remember shit.
I think, after we texted this morning, I was trying to think a little more about this. And I don't know exactly where this would be. I know that I have this. I just don't know where, but there's a manila envelope that I have in one of my storage totes that is a lot of paperwork that we had at Justin's house when we practiced there. So when we like moved out of there, I remember taking a bunch of those papers and folding them and like putting them in a folder, because I'm a fucking weirdo like that. And I'm pretty certain that within those papers were some of the handwritten Crazy Legs McGee lyrics.
That would be fucking funny as shit.
So I'm of the opinion that if I someday find those, that's like the secret key to like we can play again. But the problem is that the way I sang in that band is basically indecipherable. And I listened to the video of us from Andy's when I put it up on the website, pottymouthrecords.rocks. And then I watched that whole video, and then we had talked about the PFJ and those tapes you gave me, and I didn't think I ripped them, but I did end up ripping them. I told you that. And I found those files and I was listening to them, and the Crazy Legs McGee practice tape is sort of like better quality than the video as far as being able to understand sort of what I'm saying.
Right.
But it's still really hard. I definitely was able to kind of figure out a couple lines, but I don't think it would be possible for me to figure out what I was saying at all. So if any of you guys remember any of the words to any of the songs, even if it's just a line here and there, let's like start working together to try to rebuild the lyrics.
Snow Bunny, that's all I remember.
So there's Snow Bunny, Don't Get Eliminated,
which is the fucking killer.
Creamy Jeans, Onion Rings, which I forgot completely about that.
Do you know where you remember where it came from, right?
No, I don't at all.
You wrote it because Jen's sister was telling you about these fucking phenomenal onion rings she was gonna make, and she must have said cream your jeans or something.
Okay.
And they were a complete fucking fail. They were like they were horrible.
Gotcha.
But it started the song.
Okay.
That's
I
where the
kind of
fuck-
remember that now that you bring that up. But yeah, creamy jeans, onion rings, don't get eliminated, snow bunny. I should have wrote these down as I was listening to that tape. But yeah,
I can't believe we played 3 times. That fucking blows me away. I do remember playing at Justin's.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, those songs are good, man. Like when I listened to that practice tape, I was like, shit, like we got to make this happen somehow, someday. I mean, really, it comes down to remembering the lyrics. That's kind of the deal.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows them. You could lie.
Yeah, I could, but I don't know. I don't feel I don't feel good about that.
Well, Snow Bunny, I might have.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you wrote that.
Fred and I, come on.
Yeah.
We're like I'm trying to think. What was the building in New York? Oh shit. Where all the songwriters worked out, the Brill building.
Yeah.
And that's Fred. Fred and I were the Brill building of crazy of crazy, like, well, more crazy, more heads than anything.
Yeah. Oh, the other one of the other songs just came to me. It's the I don't know what it was called, but it's something about, you know, she's ugly. She's really fucking ugly, but something not to fuck.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Because it's like, that girl is ugly. She's really fucking ugly, but she's not too ugly not to fuck. I think it was one of the songs.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, because that was actually one of the songs that I could actually hear some of what I was singing. But the premise is like, I know this girl, her name is something, and I had like a girl's name, and it'd be like something.
Oh shit. I do remember. It was more of a, what do you would say, like a groovy.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
yeah, it was something. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's like, I know a girl, her name's Sue. Something. Yeah, that one's awesome. Yeah, maybe one of those guys can come through with some.
Oh my god.
Helpful rewrites or remember some lines or something.
I'm gonna have to listen to it. I'm such a dork. The anxiety at the point where I still, like, I didn't even turn the volume on. Like, I watched us go for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we looked like we were killing it, but I never turned the volume on.
That's fucking weird.
Like, I don't want to fucking hear that. But it looked like we were killing it.
Yeah, no, we were killing it. It actually doesn't sound that bad. It kind of sucks. I definitely, and like I said, that's like the first band I ever really sang in. So I was just doing what I thought I should be doing for that. But like I guess I would kind of try to like sing the same way, but I think I would definitely do it in a way that would be more decipherable now. Yeah, it's not so like, I don't know. I don't even know what I was singing, like what that would even be described as, but I would make it more clear now. It would still be heavy, but
you would enunciate.
Yeah, I would enunciate more. It was just kind of more like just blah before screaming, yelling.
I always thought that was fun though. Like fucking it up. I guess that was always the cool thing about Sheer Terror was when he went all falsetto. Like he wasn't afraid to go like high and falsetto.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if it's falsetto. It's not, but maybe for him it is.
When he would just go into his like natural singing voice. That, I mean, yeah. I always wished that they would have done a record where he sang fully in his like non-Sheer Terror voice. Like when he would go into the more like you're describing.
Oh yeah.
Like I would have liked to have heard a whole Sheer Terror record with him singing like that, or any band he was in. Like it was almost like I don't know. I always got the impression that like maybe he didn't even fully believe that was cool, or like he saw it as a joke. Like it was like, no, dude, you sound fucking cool when you sing like that.
It's weird. What drives me nuts is when we saw him last time. No songs off of Love Songs for the Unloved.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
It's fucking, and I like I wasn't the biggest proponent of the first album. It's good, and I like Roses. Like when he does that shit, like near the end, I dig it. But like whatever the one was that came in after that, Thanks for Nothing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the one with the Jethro Tull cover, and
that one was the one that hooked me. Like that one would like that kind of grabbed me and was like, yeah, they kick ass. But like Love Songs was always like, I don't know, like to me, it's not a perfect record, but it's really fucking good. I can't stand College Boy. Like I skipped that shit still.
Yeah,
but the rest of it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a band that that's a tough one for me to pick which one I like the best. That's almost nearly impossible. I would say that, yeah, I can't even do it. I think that my go-to for them anymore, and probably has been for a long time, like I'll listen to Just Can't Hate Enough and Thanks for Nothing on occasion, but Love Songs is pretty much my go-to. I fucking love that album so much.
And it's awesome. It's not streaming anywhere.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, it's in the abyss. Like I ended up buying Gavin like a double set, double tens. It came.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know they ever put that on vinyl. I just have like
exactly
the original CD of it.
And I was surprised when I found it. I was like, fuck, that's awesome.
That is.
So I think I
cool.
got it for him for Christmas or something stupid like that. But
that's fucking badass. I'll have to keep an eye out for that actually, because I always wanted to get that on vinyl. I don't know, man. There's like every song on that's a banger to me, but I love the Feeling Low and KC Mo song. That song is fucking sick. Yeah, it's like awesome.
Yeah. And I think there's like two at the end, like that go back to back that I love. Like it's like I listen like the last two songs like over and over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, fucking sheer terror. Yeah, it was depressing. But it was still good.
Oh, the show that they didn't play anything from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. I guess I get it, but I also don't get it because it's like that record's, I'd be pissed. I would be pissed if I went to see them now and they didn't play anything off that. I'd be a little bit pissed.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was like, ugh, sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have a lot of material now too. I mean, they have like 3 or 4 records that I never even heard that they put out in the last 10 years or something.
I like, there's 2 of them I like a lot. I think there's like an EP I wasn't too into, but I think the last couple have been good. The last 2 albums were good. There was an EP I think recently. It was good, but it wasn't as good as like I can't remember. And they did do, I think, out of that shit that I can remember, I think they did out of all the post Love songs. I think there was 1 song.
Oh wow!
Like everything was first 2 albums, and that 1 song.
Yeah. I mean, people want to hear the hits.
Suck? Does that suck? I mean, I think what's always cool about what we've done is if we got bored, we just like fuck it and moved on. Where when you're that band and people expect to hear certain songs, but you're like, fuck, dude, I'm still creative and I still want to write songs. It's like, how the fuck do you, I don't know how you can keep doing it time after time after time. Like, cause I know like if I saw like Social Distortion, there wouldn't be anything off the first 2 albums I would want to hear past that. Like,
right.
So it's like, fuck.
Oh, well,
but then they've got like a huge catalog after it, but I don't want to fucking hear that. But it's like, as a musician, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but as a musician, I would want to play my new shit because I've gotten better. Yeah. I'm more skilled. But that's not what people want to hear. Like, how do you make that fucking decision?
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I disagree with you on the Social Distortion thing because I think their best record is the White Light, White Heat, White Trash. That record, I love that record. I think that's the best Social Distortion record. Fucking love that one. I actually just got that recently on vinyl finally.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head, people.
I mean, I like the early stuff too, but I think that's their best record. I think that's when they really, that was like the peak of their like musicality and like songwriting.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think to answer your question, no, I think there's a lot that goes into that formula. I think, you know, if you're writing music that you really like and believe in when you're writing it, that like gets you fired up, even if you're still writing new stuff, it shouldn't be that make you that butthurt to play older stuff if it becomes like a quote unquote hit. But I think where it gets shitty is when you're a band. I always think about the one hit wonder bands where you have that one song that, and especially like, even if it doesn't maybe sound like your other music for some reason, like if it's just this, I think like, it's a band Radiohead, like they had that song Creep. And apparently like that song doesn't sound
Fuck
anything like
dude,
their other
not
stuff.
Even that's
So they just want to not ever play that song. And
so they opted not to be a radio band. Like they were like, no, and they went the other direction. It was like, I guess that was as close as they wanted to get to fucking that type of success. I mean, now they're far more successful being who they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could see that maybe if you write a song and you like weren't that hyped on it, but the record label is like put it out anyway, and you're like, okay, fuck it, like whatever. And then that's the song that becomes popular. I can see that being annoying to wanting to play that song if you were never hyped on it in the first place. But I don't know. I think as long as what you're writing, you're hyped on it when you write it, even if you progress a lot, I don't know. I could still see wanting to come back
and play Fat Girl.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. well, like on a lesser note, like I can give you a personal example of this scenario is, so my friend Brian, who I was talking about last week, who he's got his new band and stuff, the band that we do together, one of the songs that is on our very first record has been a song that has become like, quote unquote, like one of the hits of the set, that when we play a show, like people like always yell this song out. And I don't particularly mind playing the song. It's not one of my favorites of the early stuff. He fucking hates playing it. Like when people yell it out, he fucking gets pissed. Like he doesn't like say anything or anything, but like he'll be like, even before shows, before he's been like, if anybody like asks for that song, like don't fucking play it. I don't want to play it tonight. He's like, I fucking hate that song.
That is awesome.
So I mean, and you know, we're on a very, very, very fucking low level of anybody giving a fuck. So even in our small realm, like
you would think though, that would be even more essential for you guys in that way. If you're trying to build a base, and I guess that's it. I mean, that point is you're trying to build a base, so you have to, you know, go through and just play the shit out of the songs that everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean, there's even, what's funny because there's two songs off of that first record that we did, and one of them is the one that I'm talking about. The other one is another song that everyone always yells out, and he doesn't mind playing. No, he doesn't mind playing that one. But it's still like it's funny because I wouldn't even have thought about this when we first started talking, but we're a really good example of this. He fucking hates the aspect of people assuming we're going to play these certain songs. Like that's the part that bothers him. is that like, it doesn't bother me so much, but it fucking pisses him off. He's like, I fucking hate catering the set to what we think people want to hear. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Like it bothers him. He's like, I want to, like, he's like, I want to play shit that I want to play. And I'm like, so there's always like a balance there for us when we like pick out a set list and stuff. I'm like, well, we should probably play this. We're like, I don't fucking play that. I'm like, yeah, but well, let's not play this one. We'll play this one instead. He's like, all right, that's cool. And it's always like, well, if people like really, really, really want this one song, will you play it? He's like, well, yeah, we'll see. He's always like, we'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I think, and then there's money. Think about bands who, you know, are getting paid like shit tons of money too. Like that definitely is going to change your decision making on how comfortable you probably are with like playing songs people want to hear, even if you don't want to play them. Like, oh, well, I can play this song and sell 50 more t-shirts tonight. If I don't play it, I might not sell 50 t-shirts. And I mean, that's part of it. You know, think about people who are like the Sheer Terror show. They didn't play anything from Love Songs for the Unloved. That would probably distract my intention of maybe buying merch, because I'd be like, they ain't fucking play anything from the record I like. Like, I'm not even going to fucking buy anything.
Well, it would have been awesome if they had been selling Love Songs t-shirts and then didn't play anything from them.
Oh, then I would be even more not buy it.
That would be so fucking awesome.
Just to prove a point. Be like, fuck your shirt. I'm never buying that now. Like that's like even more cruel. Like show up at the show and see the merch booth and like see that shirt, be like, oh fuck yeah, they're gonna like play some shit from that, and then they don't play a single song.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess just every band and every person's different as far as if they're cool with, you know, playing the hits or not.
Right. I mean, is it the line of performer versus artist?
Yeah. And I think that a lot of it probably has to do with how much the person is seeing the experience as a shared experience versus having like rock star mentality. Like where if you are like, I want to play the songs that I want to play when I play a show, but I also want the crowd to enjoy themselves. And if there's certain songs they want to hear, I want it to be a shared fun experience. And if I know I'm not playing things that people want to hear, then that is a bummer for me that people aren't as engaged because they're not hearing what they want to hear.
Right.
So, but I don't think every band's like that. I think some bands are probably a little more like ego driven and basically like, you know, they don't care as much about what the friends/fans think of the music or their performance. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't give a fuck, right? Like playing
about what?
Well, it's like if you were in a band where there was like certain hits that people want to hear, like you're down to play them, right?
Well, I'd be down to play it because I would think I would want that reaction. Like I would feed off, like if I knew that somebody wanted to hear XYZ, and that was going to start shit going crazy, then I would want to play fucking XYZ.
By Rush. By Rush?
Oh yeah. No. I was like, I can't be in that band with you because I can't play that shit. I once told somebody I'd rather fall face first through a plate glass window than listen to Rush.
Oh fuck, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
I don't know if I have like an opinion on Rush. I don't dislike them, but I wouldn't even say I'm a fan though either. Like I like some select Rush songs that I've heard over the years, but I'm certainly not like a uber fan or even like a fan. I don't own any Rush, if that helps.
So that makes me awesome because I own one more Rush thing than you do, because Geddy Lee does the takeoff song for Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Oh yeah,
So-
we were talking about that. Gotcha.
Yes.
That's cool.
My
Yeah.
Rush fandom fucking cemented in whatever cement.
Well, so was the wanting to play your hits or not, was that your topic for the week, or was that just a random
Wow, that
sidebar
should be.
story?
I should lie, but no, it wasn't. And I don't have a topic, so yeah, that was
Fucking lame. Lame. You said
Well,
you were going to
I-
figure it out as the episode
well, I
went
keep
on.
going back to this. All right, ready?
Yeah.
This is nerdy for probably 3 people. What made Ampeg the Potty Mouth Records implement of doom?
Mm.
We all had them.
No, I love this question. This is great. Yeah, good job, dude. I think this is actually a really cool, relevant topic to talk about.
Well, especially with the the whatever anniversary of Skelly. Yeah, it's a perfect topic.
Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, I guess I have a story, but I don't really know like how much insight there will be to be gained by talking about this, but it's a great topic. So what ended up happening is,
All right, before we start, Ampeg, for those of you who don't know,
yeah,
they're primarily a bass amp manufacturer, but they had a tear, and they make guitar amps, but they had a tear in the late 80s, early 90s of making these solid state amps that were fucking like chainsaws. And we all ended up using them because of that noise. So take it away.
Yeah, well, so this would be this is a cool topic and an unfortunate topic in a way, because I'm sure there would be a lot more insight that could be gained on this topic from Gabe. Because I can only share my personal experience with how Ampeg was sort of involved with my side of things, but Ampeg was running deep in the circles of people we knew, like long before like I sort of got introduced to it. So I know that, so Gabe used Ampeg, and Gabe was the first person I knew that used an Ampeg from my recollection.
I agree. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. And then, so I think in my mind, and another thing too, is I remember when I started out playing guitar, I had the opportunity to play through some tube amps on occasion. And I remember not liking tube sound at the time because it, like you said, it's like the music I was getting into, tube amps just didn't give you chainsaw. They gave you like clean, dirty rock sound. It wasn't aggressive enough. So I think I guess I didn't have like a amp affiliation yet. And then Gabe played Ampeg, and then you ended up getting that combo amp that you played in Lawn Dart. So I think my exposure to Ampeg was just like through you guys, and I loved that tone. I was just like, this is the tone that is the tone I want. And then, but I think I was maybe still at a point where it's like I didn't have the money or like really the knowledge base to know about buying amps yet, really, like professional amps, I guess.
So somebody has to, this is going to be crazy. Somebody has to talk to Darv, because now I'm starting to think that there is a connection between the Ampeg and Valley music
Yeah. Well,
because
that's part of it.
Gabe bought everything from there.
Yeah, and they were like one of the local Ampeg dealers, and I don't think it's there anymore, but Machin Music that was out on Pennsylvania Avenue near North High, they sold Ampeg as well, because I got one of my combo amps from there. I got my my 140C from there.
I cried. I literally tears when my fucking head fried.
Yeah.
Just earlier this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was beside myself.
Well, and then I do also remember that the other Ampeg that was sort of in the circle of everybody was Matt's Ampeg head, which became mine. So that was played in a version when he was playing guitar. That was his Aversion X guitar amp
with the Sonic Maximizer.
With the BBE. That was the key. That was the key to
is he? It would be him and Gabe.
Well, hold on.
Because
it goes a step deeper from my knowledge. I know one more hierarchy step. So the SS150 head that is mine, that I currently still have, that I bought from Matt, because when he started playing drums in Bomb Threat, he like sold off all his fucking guitar gear, because I was even going to buy his silver Ibanez from him. That was his Aversion X guitar, because I wanted it just from like the nostalgic standpoint. I wasn't even probably ever really going to play it. I regret that I didn't buy that from him, because he was going to sell it to me like pretty dirt cheap. And I was at the time, is when I was I had like way too many guitars phase. And I was like, dude, I don't need like another fucking guitar I'm not going to play. I wish I would have bought it, because that was a fucking nice guitar. But anyway, didn't buy that from him, but I did buy his head. That Ampeg SS150 head, that's mine. That before Matt was Eric Phillips' head in AKR.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not remember that. I probably knew that, but did not remember that.
Yeah. So
holy shit.
Yeah. So that amp has like a lot of lineage. So, and I don't know, like I said, that's where my knowledge of that amp stops, is AKR. So I don't know where Eric got it, if he bought it new, if he got it from another band. So it's very possible that might even be another step deeper or steps deeper.
How fucking crazy is that?
So AKR to Aversion X, and then to Bomb Threat, Graven Warheads.
Yes.
So, but then the other tie-in, which is, so there's actually multiple tie-ins with the SS150. So we all love that sound. But yeah, like you're saying, the key to unlocking the true essence of that amp was the BBE Sonic Maximizer. So like running it without the Sonic Maximizer, it sounded sick as fuck. Don't get me wrong, but adding the Sonic Maximizer, it just like, it did something to that amp. So use it in Bomb Threat. I mean, I've used that in everything. And then I think we even used it. You're probably using that in Crazy Legs McGee too, no doubt. Or
mine.
Yeah, or yours.
Yeah, because I had the combo. I don't know what I did with the combo.
Yeah.
I might have sold it, got rid of it. I don't sell shit, so I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
But then, like when I started playing down in Baltimore, I only had my little PV micro stack.
Oh, I remember that thing.
I still have that. Like, that's what I'm saying. The fact that I got rid of that, it blows my mind.
Yeah, that thing was like one of those Marshall micro stacks, but just a PV version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was cool.
It still plays. It's still good. It's so crazy. But then on top of that, I got a Reverber Rocket like reissue, which was a tube amp from the Ampeg from like the 60s.
Yeah.
And like I played it, and I must have played it for like 3 or 4 months, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And luckily, Tom, the drummer at the time, used to go to Atomic Music all the time. And he called, I don't know, we didn't have cell phones, so I don't know how he got a hold of me. But he basically got a hold of me. He's like, Atomic Music, they have a half stack, got your name written all over it. And that was Sylvester. And that was the 140 or the SS 140. And we went and took the Reverber Rocket down. I was like, well, you take that, I'll take this. Tom's like, are you going to plug it in and listen to it? I'm like, no. I was like, I know what it sounds like. I was like, this is fucking magic. That is not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, magic's the right word, man. I mean, those amps, it's funny too, because like, I know a lot of people who have had trouble like finding an amp that they really like the sound of. Like, I know people who have bought and sold multiple different types of amps trying to like look for like their sound. And we were fortunate. Like, I swear those amps were just fucking made for the type of music that we do.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, it's funny. I guess I've never really, I'm just so, the Ampeg blood is just so runs so deep through all of us and stuff. I've never even really stopped to think about how important that sound was to sort of like everything that we've done. I guess it's just so like natural to me. I just don't even think about it being a thing. But yeah, pretty much
dude,
every
it's
band
a signature of like every band, the whole, it basically from not even including AKR, it goes the whole way up. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Ryan played a fucking PV and it sounded like shit. It was, did he have a crate or did he have a crate? He might have had a crate and it sounded like shit. Like there was never a good sound that came out of that amp.
All that like 80s and early 90s PV bass stuff though is fucking sick, because I have my bass amp that I have right now is I have a PV Mark 6 head, and I have a 215 matching cabinet for it. And dude, that thing, it sounds amazing. And this, like, I get compliments on that amp all the time when we play shows and stuff. People are just like, dude, like I think people are amazed that it's a PV. They're, cause like whatever, like orange amps and like Ampeg SVTs and stuff are just like really popular right now. So when someone's like I'm setting my gear up and someone's like, whoa, is that like a PV? I'm like, yeah. They're like, dude, like that sounds sick as fuck. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I got that thing on Craigslist for like $250.
Dude, I almost called you because there was a Ampeg for sale in San Diego.
Oh, really?
When I was looking, I was like, how in the fuck am I going to get it here? Because that dude was definitely he wasn't shipping it.
Well, yeah. And so flash forward to moving out here. Well, actually, no, I got to back up, because another sort of like feather in the cap of that, we were running on the correct program by like being on the Ampeg program, is the first time we went down to DC, and you didn't go to this show, but I went with like Matt Powell and like, I think maybe Dave went, I forget who all went, but we went to that Integrity show in DC. It was like, cause they were supposed to play DC like 3 years in a row, and like they kept like backing out, which they were.
No,
like,
I was there. Did Hatebreed open?
Well, was it that when you were at that show?
Yeah, my car broke. My fucking clutch went out. You guys had to follow me home.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah, totally. So anyway, that was the first time I think any of us saw Integrity, because they had like backed out. And then I'll never forget that the one brother who was the guitar player, he was playing an SS 150. And I remember just being like, that's fucking sick. Like, it makes sense now, A, why we probably liked Integrity so much, and B, like why something about their music was like familiar to me, but I didn't really know it at the time.
And you're absolutely like, oh, this wraps back into your whole fucking sonic tones thing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit
earlier.
Yeah. There you go. Well, so then I think like seeing Integrity playing that, and then flash forward to moving out here, and like meeting John and stuff, we had conversations about, basically, it was funny because like the Melnicks, they were, and I think a lot of other people in Cleveland scene as well, I think like Ampeg shit was like pretty prominent in a lot of those bands as well. So I think that was like, I always liked that connection of just, you know, because we were all into like the Cleveland bands and stuff. And then knowing that they were also kind of like Ampeg dudes, that was really cool. And then, so there was that whole aspect. And then my friend Anthony, who ended up becoming our guitar player out here, he didn't really have an amp at the time. And I was like, well, dude, you can just like use my amp, because that was at the point where I was like switching over to playing drums anyway. So I was like, well, dude, just like fucking use my shit, and he's like, oh, and then we got to talking or whatever. And then like, he knew, I was like, well, this basically my amp is the exact same amp that they use in Integrity. And I just remember him being like super hyped on that. And he ended up using my amp for like pretty much like every band I was ever in with him that he played guitar, he always used my amp. Like he never even wanted to use anything else, because he was like, this amp is the shit. And then what's funny is as we were playing shows and like whatever, we ended up kind of befriending this band from out here, Take Offense, and their guitar player like really liked the sound of my amp. And it's funny because like he'll even hit me up on occasion and be like, dude, I'm like still like looking for like an SS 150. Like I want to get, because he's always like, dude, because he's like, if you ever sell your amp, let me know, because I want to buy it. And I'm like, well, I'm definitely never going to sell my SS 150, but like I don't know if it was right before I moved out here or when I moved out here. I think it was right before I moved out. I actually bought a VH140C. It's basically like I think they called it was like a trans tube. Do you remember like the Ampeg trans tube stuff?
No.
So I might be mistaken on this, but I think the VH140s were like the first generation of like the trans tube, where it was pretty much like the old full solid state, but they were trying to like add some new technology to maybe make it a little more tube-ish.
Warmer. Yeah.
And it still sounds a lot like the SS 150, but it does have like a little bit of a different vibe. So I just mainly wanted it as like a backup head. And then, so I barely even used that head that much, but I was like, dude, I'll sell you my VH140C if you want that. And he's like, no, I want the SS 150. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to sell that. Like, even if I never play guitar again, I on principle, I can never get rid of that. Because I feel like I'm like the keeper of that head now, just because of the lineage of it, even before I had it. It's like a museum piece basically at this point. But then what's crazy is this band I played in out here in like 2009-ish to 2013 or 14. It's this band called Let 'Em Rot. We were kind of like a D beat, like kind of crust punk kind of band. And we played shows with this band, and honestly, the name of their band is escaping me right now. But
that's an interesting name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel really bad. I can't even think of their name right now. Because we were like pretty good friends with those guys. We toured with them once and stuff. But their guitar player also used SS 150 head. And I remember the first time we like played a show with them, I went up to him. I was like, dude, I have that exact same head. And I'll never forget it. We had like this immediate bonding moment of like, he was like, do you really know what this head is? I was like, yeah, I fucking have one of those. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And we like talked about Ampeg like the whole fucking night, just about how no one understands how fucking epic and great these amps are. And
Dude,
that, like,
I swear, I seriously considered driving 5 hours to go to Virginia to pick up a 140 combo.
yeah.
And I was just, because, like I said, totally beside myself when my head fried.
Well, I had a combo as well. I don't know if you remember that. I bought a combo. I had the VH140 as well. And that's the one I bought at that Machin music place on Pennsylvania Avenue. And I used it because I was sick of lugging fucking cabinet around. So I got that. And I remember that amp, I don't know, like every once in a while you get an Ampeg that would be like a little bit of a lemon. And like it would always, they had that problem. There was like one particular circuit that always fried on them. And I remember there was only one fucking person that in like our area that could like fucking work on this head or this combo amp. And it's like 3 different times I had to drive this fucking amp up. It was actually up near Erin in like Pennsylvania somewhere.
Oh,
this
Jesus
dude
Christ.
like lived out in the fucking middle of nowhere on this farm. And he was like a piano repairman. And for some reason, like worked on Ampeg amps as well. And 3 different times I had to fucking take that combo amp out there for him to fix it. And I think he even fixed my SS150 head once or twice.
They'd like overheat.
Or something would happen.
It was like something like that. Like you'd play it so long and then it would start getting funky.
Yeah, like you would actually, it would like cut in and out.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And it wasn't an input thing. It was like something on the actual board. So what scares me is I haven't, so, you know, I was playing drums out here for like a decade or more. Like I wasn't playing guitar ever. And then I started playing guitar again when Brian and I started doing our band. And then that was the first time I had played guitar really since I moved out here. And the way that we're only a 2-piece band. So like our setup was like, I was running my guitar sort of like through pedals into like this PA for live. So I wasn't even really using my normal guitar setup in that band. And then when I started doing my solo thing, I actually like decided that I wanted to like get my first tube amp. Like I wanted to have tube sound because all the records I recorded, I was recording all the guitar tones with like an emulator, like a DAWs emulator thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a cart before the horse thing. Like especially on my last record, I used all these crazy guitar tones. And then afterwards it's like, I never like really thought about how am I going to fucking replicate this shit live? Like,
nice. Yeah.
So that I kind of shot myself in the foot. So I was like, well, if I get a tube amp, I'll have like a good clean slate for like adding pedals and like doing what I want to do. And I did buy my first, well, technically it's not my first tube amp ever. I did back in the Bomb Threat days. I went through this little phase where I did want to experiment with getting a tube amp just to see how it would compare. And I bought do you remember that Crate Blue Voodoo amp that I had? And that thing was a fucking complete piece of shit. I fucking hated that amp. I played that amp like one fucking show and then I immediately sold it because I fucking hated it and went back to my SS150. So anyway, this is technically my second tube amp, but it's really like the first one I actually like. But I ended up buying the Fender Hot Rod DeVille, and it's a 212 watt combo. And dude, it sounds fucking amazing. Like honestly, I probably would have hated it back in the day because it like doesn't have much crunch. Right. But for what I'm doing now, it's perfect and I love it. And pedals sound really awesome through it. But the whole point of that is it's probably been maybe 8 to 10 years since my SS150 has even been plugged in and used. So
you should clean it or have somebody clean it prior to powering that bitch up.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this recently as like, man, I want to like fire that thing up through my Marshall cab just to even see if it even still works. And I've been scared to, though, because of your story. Because I remember when you told me about turning yours on and it just started smoking, like that's going to depress me, because even though I don't use it, I'm going to feel inclined to get it fixed, because it's like I have to.
Oh, I'm not throwing mine away. Oh,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. That fucker, it will be fixed. I don't know. It was just crazy.
But yeah, it would definitely be interesting to, I feel like there's definitely a part of the Ampeg heritage amongst us that part of the story is probably missing. Like, I think there's steps before us that we need to know, but I don't know how we find out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy, though. I didn't even think about that head, Matt having that head, but now that you say it, I remember it.
Yeah. I can't.
We were pretty fucking geared up as a band for being fucking a high school band.
Yeah, you guys were. Like, you definitely, like, I think that's another thing too, that when I think back to first hanging out with all you guys and stuff, like I definitely was like thinking that, man, going to shows definitely made me feel inadequate on the gear side of what I had. Cause I was like, fuck, man, like these dudes have like real professional gear, and I'm like rocking the Gorilla amp and shit. It's like, it was definitely like, I guess I can't think of the word, inspiration for me to work toward like how I would need to like figure out how to get to the next level faster. Cause it's like, it's embarrassing to like have what I have. And like, if I ever want to play shows, I can't fucking use a Gorilla
I
amp.
think part of that though is like, I don't know if it was practicing as much as when you played out, because a lot of places didn't have good shit. So it was you playing loud enough to hear each other.
Yeah.
In a big room. And so, I mean, I think it might be more necessity than it was anything else.
Yeah, I think so. I remember the days. I don't know. I mean, we definitely did this at a few shows, but this was more of like if we were playing a party or something, we just had to. But I remember the days of like singers bringing their own PA to shows and stuff. Like that was like a thing that like you had to do.
Yeah. Or you brought your own shit. Yeah. I mean, this was just fucking crazy.
Which is weird to think about now. And that, you know, that's an interesting thing to bring up too, is, and I don't know if all younger people are like this, but I've definitely experienced this a lot. But like younger people definitely are way lazier about bringing gear to shows. Like in the last like 10 to 15 years, the whole like borrowing gear thing really became like kind of excessive, where like this one band I was in for a while, like people would ask us to play shows because everyone knew that we'd bring all the gear and like no one would have to bring anything. And then when we get there, I'd be like, hey man, can I like borrow this? And like people like asking to borrow shit.
How fucking crazy is that?
And that's like,
I couldn't imagine that.
That's like pretty prevalent. And I mean, I would always let people do it just because I'm a nice guy, but I'd be lying if I said that shit didn't piss me off a little bit. Cause I'm like, motherfucker, like you want to be in a band, like you got to suffer the fucking consequences of it like everybody else.
But so I think my point would be, dude, we were working on a sound.
Yeah.
You know, and that sound was created by certain elements.
Yeah, true.
I can't show up and then borrow somebody's.
Yeah, exactly.
He has like, I don't know, the Blue Voodoo, and all of a sudden start kicking it out. And like, I think you lose the integrity of maybe of the music you're playing. I mean, ours was that way. I mean, the energy and stuff, I couldn't imagine playing it through a fucking big old tube amp getting all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't even imagine like back in, like if we would have played a show and I didn't bring an amp and we were doing like a Bomb Threat or Craven Moorhead show, and someone was like, "Hey, dude, you can use my amp," and it was a Blue Voodoo, I would have been like, "I'm not fucking playing." I would have seriously ran my fucking guitar through the PA with no distortion before I would fucking play through that fucking amp.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, that I can't
Turd
say
Fiesta.
enough bad things about that fucking amp. I hated that fucking amp. It's funny, Butch sent me some pictures a few months back of this show that Bomb Threat played. It was with Crispus Addicts. We played at this like fucking barn or something up in, I don't know, it was like Western Maryland, PA or something. And I remembered the show, but someone found pictures. Someone came up with pictures from that show, and he sent them to me. And it's funny because I'm playing a guitar that I forgot I even had. And that's like, I think that might be the one show where I played the Blue Voodoo amp.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, because I see it in the background of one of the pictures, and I was just like, fuck. Like, I was like, that pisses me off that there's evidence that I fucking had that amp. Like, that amp was such garbage, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, and I think another reason why I even bought that was because I may be mistaken about this, but I think at the time, maybe Crate had been bought by Ampeg or was like a separate division of them or something at that point. So I was like, oh, well, maybe it's like kind of decent.
You know, that doesn't sound too far-fetched.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't.
I can't remember. I'd have to look that up, but the other thing,
that sounds it's very possible.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I'll have to double check that, but this might be one of those things where I thought this into like reality but it isn't true. I have to go and look, but there's something that reminds me or tells me that on the back of my amp, the letters AKR are carved in the plate on the back.
Oh, really? Oh, that'd be fucking cool.
I don't, like I said, I can't be sure if that's one of those things where like I wish that happened and it was there, but it's really not, or if they actually are there. I'll have to look next time I'm down at storage because I feel like there are. But one thing I do know for a fact that is still on the back of my SS150 head is there's a Bomb Threat magnet on the back of there. And I'm pretty sure that these are magnets that Butch made for us back in the day. And it says Bomb Threat, and there's like a little bomb. And I think the magnets say 24-hour hippie removal.
Oh shit.
So
That's
Butch
awesome.
Butch, you can hit me up and confirm if that was you that made those magnets. I'm pretty sure that Butch made those magnets, but that's definitely still on the back of my amp because I don't know, like a year or so ago, I was moving some shit around down there and I saw that and I was fucking cracking up. But yeah, anyway, awesome topic, dude. Like I said, it kind of, I wish there was a way we could dig a little deeper on more like history before us with like sort of what people sort of a level above us were the ones who were like into that. But I think you're right with the Darv connection. I think Darv is definitely a big part of all that somehow.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well, think like Brian and those guys, they use like the Fenders, like those Fenders, like for the left, like they all had like the rock and roll amps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I know like I'm trying to think like I know Jeremy, like Last Kid Pick Turning Seasons, Jeremy, he uses he just always used like a Marshall. He had just like a
so did Blake,
like standard like Marshall head and cab.
Or the JVC or something like that. I forget what they're
Blake
called.
used Marshall. Trying to think, like Troy uses Marshall shit.
Yeah, I even in my emulator, I can't get a sound out of the Marshall. I like.
Yeah, well, the only Marshall I've ever played that I really was like, damn, this is fucking brutal is was that time I played Troy's triple lead. that fucking triple lead head is insane, dude. That thing is like, it's pretty gnarly. It's brutal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fucking heavy. But yeah, normal Marshall has its place, but I can never really get into that tone that much. I mean, it's probably maybe a little more now I can get into it. I'm trying to think of other guitar players in the area. I don't know what Justin's brother played. I'm not sure what he played. And like Forgotten Existence and stuff.
I think the Turners played PVs at least way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what those PVs were.
I don't remember what Mike played. Mike probably played an Ampeg. Yeah, I would put money on it.
That's funny. When I was going through those, I had that file on my hard drive with where all those cassette rips are, and I saw the Obedience cassette rip in there. I was like, oh shit! Like I kind of like forgot about that band. Honestly, I was like, damn, I may have to break that out. See what it's feeling like nowadays.
Dude, all of that stuff's just crazy. What all did you pull off cassettes?
It's a lot of stuff, man. I'll send you a screen grab of that whole folder just so you can see all the crazy shit in there. There's a lot of stuff in there that my intention is to eventually put it up on the YouTube channel, because I put something, like about 2 years ago, I started uploading some of that stuff, and then I just kind of stopped, got into other shit, and just never got back to it. But
did I give you the Time Bomb demo?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so yes. I ripped all that stuff. But actually, no. I forgot when I was trying to rip that demo, the fucking tape snapped.
Oh, nice job, fuckhead.
And I actually tried to repair it, and I don't know, it's like the tape was so brittle, like it just like kind of was like came apart or something. But
that sucks.
But that demo is on YouTube already. Someone else put it up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
I have
it's
to
on
look
there.
it up.
But you know, that's funny. That reminds me. Do you remember the show that Aversion X played? It was like a festival down in like Annapolis or something.
Yeah.
It was like in a warehouse. Do you remember that
that's
show?
where I met the P-Tanks.
Oh, really?
Like our little table was set up beside the P-Tanks.
Oh, no shit. Because I was at that show. I went to that with you guys.
When we almost ran off the I ran the GTI up over the guardrail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, because Heath was like, remind Curtis about that show.
That's funny. I spent most of the time hanging out with the guy from Gut Instinct trying to get his fucking car to start.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. But yeah, so Gut Instinct played that show, right?
Yeah. Just Cause. I know the P-Tanks played. I heard that. That might have been my extent of what I remember.
Well, the one band that played there that I remember, and I bought their demo, and they were like one of the metal bands that played there, but they were a band called Exhume, not to be confused with Exhumed, which is like the new, like, well, not new at this point, but yeah, like the thrash band, whatever, like the Slaughter thrash band. But they were just Exhume. And I bought their demo, and I had that thing for years, and I don't know whatever happened to it, but yeah, for some reason I really like that band. I don't even remember what it was about them, but I remember their demo was called Dig It. So I always thought that was funny, like Exhume, Dig It.
Get it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking funny. But no, I totally remember that one. For the most part, I mean,
yeah. How did you even get that show?
Somebody called Heath.
Yeah,
I think somebody called Heath. Heath, I think, was our primary booker guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Oh shit!
You can see that. It's not my. I don't like people.
Damn, I just always assumed that was you that was doing all that.
Fuck no, that was Heath, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it had to be Heath. It was Heath. Thanks, Heath.
I would say I guess that does make sense. I don't picture anybody else in the band doing that. So yeah.
No, fucking Matt didn't even ride with us half the places. Sure as the fuck was going to book shows.
That's probably why I was able to go to so many Aversion shows, is because Matt was never riding in the car with you guys.
Oh shit. Oh, fuck.
So it was funny. I've been thinking about like random shows lately, and another show I thought about too recently was a lawn dart show. And the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because my recollection of this was this was pretty much the catalyst for, I think, when you like quit the band. We went, you guys were playing a show in like Baltimore, maybe. I don't remember, but anyway, we like drove to the show and I forget what happened, but we got there and like you decided you weren't going to play the show for some reason. And I think those guys ended up playing, but we left. Do you remember this?
Do you remember where that show was? It wasn't in fucking Baltimore.
Oh no, I don't. See, that's why I'm asking.
It was up in was it somewhere up in like Massachusetts?
No.
We had two shows.
Was it that far? Oh, I think you're right.
And we got to fucking Massachusetts and the fucking show was never booked. Never confirmed, nothing. Like we waited there all fucking day for somebody to show up. And then the guy's like, yeah, there's no show here tonight. And I got pissed and went home. And then I think everybody else played in the, what was it? ABC No Rio in New York.
Oh, fuck.
Without me, with the P-Tanks.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't remember it being that far away, but I guess it has to be because you remember it better than me, but that has to be that show.
Yeah, I would assume that's the only one I got pissed off and left at.
Yeah.
Just very frustrating.
Well, that is a fucking long drive. I don't remember it being that far, but I guess that was where it was. Shit. Yeah, that would piss me off too. Well, that's got to be it too, because I remember, because I even think you were like, well, you can stay if you want, like whatever. But I just remember being like, oh, well, if I stay, like, I don't know when I'm going to be getting back and stuff. And like who, I don't know. It was just kind of like, I mean, I knew all those guys at that point pretty well, but I didn't feel comfortable enough to probably like go with them.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah,
that was some shit. Thanks, Dave.
But yeah, that was like kind of like, that was soon after is when you quit the band though, right?
Nah. Maybe. I'm thinking maybe.
Definitely close.
Yeah, it probably was within. Yeah, probably within a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was just, like I said, I thought of that, and I was just trying to kind of like some things are I remember really well, and then other things are like flashes, and like I kind of know that happened, but don't know exactly how it happened.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
Well,
Connecticut
shit.
or Massachusetts, one of the two.
Yeah.
I know we drove like motherfuckers and then nothing. Got there and nothing happened.
Fuck. Yeah, that sucks. Well, yeah, man, that's cool. I loved your topic for today. I wish I had more intriguing sort of things to add to that topic, but I mean, I pretty much said everything I know.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that Matt had it first. You could have told me Gabe was the one that led to Revolution, and I would have believed you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But it was Eric. That's even cooler.
Yeah. Like I said, I guess something that would be smart to do would be to I could research the years that head was manufactured, and at least then I could know, when it first appeared, and that might help to like identify, maybe because like what AKR would have been, what, like 88, 90-ish?
88-ish?
Yeah.
88, maybe 90. I graduated in 90, maybe 90.
Yeah. So like if that head came out in like 87, 88, like it could be very possible that he was like the original owner of that.
Yeah, it could be.
Like that was like his first amp kind of a scenario that he bought for the band.
Well, fuck, if Heath talks to you, he might know.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, like honestly, like Gene could possibly even know too.
That's true.
I mean, he might not know like those kind of details, but he can probably confirm that, I mean, I definitely know that was his head, but maybe, confirm.
What, Gene Swollen Head on the Instagrams? Oh, shit.
Get that fucking homie some Benadryl.
Shit.
Shrink that face, bro.
Oh, fuck.
That's what happens when you listen to too much Slayer Live Undead.
Face gets all swollen.
Yeah, your face swells up.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, god damn it.
On that note,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yep.
We gave you guys 45 minutes of pleasure, an hour and 15 minutes of pain. Probably not in that order either.
Yeah, I think it was broken up in a very different pie chart than what you just described. Probably a lot more pain on this episode than pleasure, but I had fun. I always have fun. I don't really give a fuck if you guys don't have fun.
What else do you have to do?
Yeah, like seriously, what else are you fucking doing? I obviously don't have anything else better to do. I'm fucking sitting here doing this thing, so.
True story. Ugh.
There's one other thing I did want to mention. What was it?
Penis wart.
No. No, I don't remember. But yeah, again, if you didn't listen last week and you don't know, we have a website, pottymouthrecords.rocks, ROCKS. Check it out. Episode compendiums and other fucking shit.
Find out who humped Gandalf.
Yeah. He's still intact. Nothing new to report this week. So, but one thing that we do need to discuss off air is we need to start fucking getting shit in order to open the store.
Oh, hells yeah.
So we need to because I have some ideas I need to run by you, and you have ideas, and we got to implement some shit.
No shit. I was telling Dammy that we had to get working on some stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Groovy. All right, fuckers. Adios.
Yep. See you next time, bitches.
Kaya!
This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth Records. Contact us at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com and find us on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks.